And I ask this selfishly because I'm trying to balance it now. Like, I got a fiance.
This guy's time management's crazy.
Yeah, like I'm literally picking your brain for like my hopeful future. Yeah. But like, you know, like you know you have to be skating X amount of hours in order to keep your shit, to learn new tricks, to keep all these other motherfuckers nipping at your heels at bay. But at the same time, you got a family, you got kids.
I don't feel that pressure anymore.
With the family or with the...
No, with the family. No, but we have like, no,
that's the trick.
Why? You should try that.
Exactly. No, that's still. Hey, between my wife and I, we have 6 kids, and 5 are out of the house.
Oh, okay.
So 3 are in college, 2 are just grown ass men, and and so, but to answer your question, that pressure never ends.
Really,
we're still helping our kids just be adults. You know, to navigate life like that never really ends. You stay a parent even if they're not in the house. But I don't feel the pressure to be so on point skating because why?
But what about early on, like when you were in the midst of competition?
Yeah, I did, but I just loved it. So that I was doing it by default. I wasn't training.
Interesting.
I just loved. I love creating new tricks. In fact, when I was competing, I felt like I was stifled because I couldn't go out and try crazy new stuff because I might get hurt or I might do something like I might learn a trick and then want to do it the next time at the contest and probably too risky at that point.
Yeah. So the fun part of skating was taking it's kind of similar to stand up. Like I don't want to give Seinfeld credit for this because he's annoying, but like Mark was saying that like Seinfeld said that he likes skateboarders because they're like comics. And what was the exact thing? It was like they just keep trying something and it fails almost every time, and then eventually it works, and then it's a great feeling when it works. Yeah. But I felt that way when I was preparing for the special that we just did. I was just like, sometimes I just want to go up and say something. Maybe it fucking bombs, and maybe it's good, and then I'll find some new little portal into something else. But when you're trying to lock down every single word
for a special,
exactly, it's the same thing. It's like you can't take that exact risk. Yeah, it ruins the freedom a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
But even with like family and that kind of stuff, there was never an issue. You're like, yeah, I got to go skate. There was never like, oh, we need to have some time together.
I probably through the early 2000s, the heydays of my video game, I might have chosen skating or events over being a parent. So that didn't bode well for relationships either. But yeah, I definitely I got caught up in it.
Did you develop like a good excuse that you might want to share?
No,
we need it.
Yeah, well, I do Letterman. What?
So get on Letterman.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it's
just
not
tell your girl that. Be like, sorry, babe, I'm skateboarding.
I'm a skateboarder.
I've learned to prioritize since then.
You ever just walk her outside, turn around, look at the house, and be like, you want me to stay home or you want me to?
No, never ran that.
My girl and I got a big fight last night, and during the whole fight, she didn't know that you're coming on today, and I was like, oh, she don't even fucking know what I'm about to drop on her. She don't even fucking know. Like, I was a little bit late because I'm preparing and I'm working something, and she's upset that I'm late without knowing why I'm late. And I just subtly threw it out there. I was like, yeah, listen, I'm sorry. We're preparing. Tony Hawk's coming on tomorrow. And I just saw her like eyes like light up in the middle of the fight. And I was like, yeah, you're done. You got nothing on me now.
I never thought I'd be using ammunition like that.
The guy from the video. But yeah, I don't know. I'm always curious about that. Like people have went through. Well, I don't know. I think you're very humble about it, but I think that what you've experienced.
But I came from a world that was largely shunned, and you were made fun of.
Explain that, because I don't think even my generation understood the idea that like you were bullied for skateboarding. Like that didn't exist.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
By whom? Like I imagine
by anyone my age.
Really?
Yeah, because when you in the late 70s, early 80s, skating had been through a fad phase. Okay. So. It was like a toy. It was like a frisbee.
Like a like a yo-yo.
That was it.
It was really into yo-yos.
Yo-yo, frisbee. Yeah, that was it. Skateboards, and then I saw something else in skateboarding because I got to go to the skate park when I was young, and I saw people flying around, and I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
But when I dove into it head first, like that, literally head first sometimes, the fad was over. And so when I was walking through high school, especially early, like junior high and high school, skating is like, you still skate?
Oh, it was antiquated.
Yeah, it was just like, well, aren't you too old for that? And 14.
It's like a pogo stick or something
Hulu.
like that.
Absolutely.
Like a
yeah.
high schooler playing with pogs.
I used to hide.
I mean?
I used
Like, what are
to,
you
I used to
doing?
hide my skateboard in the bushes
No.
before school because if I carried it around school, then I was just marked and I would get hassled. And so through those years, and then at some point it started to come back around. Back to the Future happened. Back to the Future happened, and the skating started to get back in the fold.
Mm-hmm.
And then by then I was sort of in my later years of high school, and so people knew that a pro skater went to their high school, but they couldn't pick me out of the line.
Wow.
So you're already professional. You're already very successful.
Yeah, I owned a house when I was a senior in high school.
That's crazy.
Wow.
And none of them knew that that's what you were doing. You had to hide it from them.
Well, at that
It's like being gay
at that point,
back in the day,
You had to
right?
come out and be like, hey, mom, I skate.
Mom, I ride wood.
no! I used to get I do remember carrying my skateboard through the parking lot and a dude yelling "skater fag"
No.
at me
Wow.
like repeatedly, just like, okay, dude, I get it.
Because it's a long parking lot.
Yeah, and he's driving through, just like skater fag.
Dude, okay.
But
then,
no, I'm not going to liken my experience to that of someone.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course. But it's the same. But yeah.
Yeah, no facts, no facts
It's literally this. It's just feelings, no facts. Yeah. But okay, so then there's this turn, right? I remember rollerblading got popular all of a sudden. Do you
Yeah.
remember that? And then okay,
That was more mid 90s.
so this is already after the
So
skate boom
when
began again.
rollerblade, yeah. So skateboarding came and went like late 80s.
Okay.
Again, more as a fad, but
Yeah.
a little more established.
Yeah.
And so people were, I think that people held on to it longer and that it sort of, they love the attitude of skating. They love the sort of DIY and that it was different and it had all this punk music and stuff like that. Yeah. So there's a lot of people, especially now, who skated in those days and they credit skating for their approach to life.
My cousin was
then-
a doctor. He would 100% say the same thing.
But then when it died, like in popularity again, because all the skate parks were closing, they couldn't afford insurance, and people started taking to the streets, but
Yeah.
it just was less popular. Rollerblading was on the rise, and I credit rollerblading for supplementing my income because I got invited as the special guest to a bunch of rollerblade shows.
Hilarious.
Oh shit! I remember that.
So there'd be like, for instance, there were some demos happening, skate exhibitions in the parking lot of Six Flags, and it was because of rollerblade. And so there was all these pro rollerbladers, and they would invite me like, "Hey, special guest, skateboarder Tony Hawk," and then Matt Hoffman, special guest BMX rider.
guy,
so he and I were like the outliers,
yeah.
but getting paid
So we're like, okay,
to
we're
ride
doing it.
ramps. Yeah, sign me up.
Now, I think some people credit this one almost like dad joke for rollerblading dying. Do you believe that it's true? It's like, what's the hardest part about? What is it? What is the joke? What's the hard? Oh yeah, what's the hardest part about rollerblading? Telling your dad you're gay.
Yeah.
I think I truly do believe that joke killed rollerblading. Do you have it? I really, dude, like because I had rollerblades and I heard that joke once and I looked at him, I was like, I don't want to have to tell my dad yet. No.